su tenpo dewa shepo ju ten chenpo ju bu de alo jewa la na me bo la da me na tenpo san je chang de de be jawa sha ja tu pa la sha se ju do jo su je wo Ani zo je da je sa chen de na gong bo de bo ne ma ne je den de na chu je son de se ke bo je la sha se lo na do ge chu do zo za wa ye xie jia zo se je ne bo zhe da bo je de su na la ye wa gong bo chu ni chu la sha se lo se jo den bo zhe men da ye xiao se don zha wa chu la sha se lo le zhe jin zha se bo song wa qi liang min chun jin chu la sha se lo gong bo tu jie che den bo dang jin jin bin den bo bo yun de jiao su xin de xin xie la xiang se lo da bian de cha zhe wan jin ge ye ge song de zhe xin xie du de da chu ju bo jin ju chu la xiang se lo zhe nian zhu yue la yang de la ban da la zhao du nian Shen Ge Dang Ba Yu Den Den Guen De La Yang Sha Se Lo De Ba Chen Yang Mi Jia Xin Ge Wa Bi Song So Ba Xie Rang Ge Sen Ne Yang Su De De Ne Sang Je De Ba Ye Ka Ma Zha De Ma Me Dang Ju Ma Se Wa Ju Bo Dang me la lo da zhe da bu de xie che nan de da da sa nan de ye da che zi ba yi ga ba da ne che che da de de ga da na da che ye la zhu si ye so le zhe wan zhe wan yo.
Thus I have heard. At one time, our Blessed One was dwelling in the royal domain of Ultra Mountain, with a great gathering of monks and a great assembly of bodhisattvas. At that time, the Blessed One was absorbed in the samadhi of the many aspects of phenomena of profound appearance. At the same time, noble Avalokiteshvara, Bodhisattva Mahasattva, looking at the practice of the profound perfection of wisdom, saw the five skandhas in their natural emptiness. Then, through the power of Buddha, Venerable Shariputra said to the noble Avalokiteshvara Bodhisattva Mahasattva, how should a son of the lineage trained who wishes to follow the practice of the profound perfection of wisdom? Thus he spoke, and the noble Avalokiteshvara Bodhisattva Mahasattva answered the Venerable Shariputra with these words. Shariputra, those men and women of the lineage who wish to follow the practice of the profound perfection of wisdom should look at it like this. The five skandhas should be seen clearly in their natural emptiness. Form is empty, emptiness is form. Emptiness is not other than form. Form also is not other than emptiness. In the same way, feeling, recognition, compositional factors and consciousness are empty. Shariputra, like this, all phenomena are emptiness, and having no characteristics, they are no more than unceasing. They are neither pure nor pure. They neither decrease nor increase. Therefore, Shariputra, in emptiness there is no form, no feeling, no recognition, no compositional factors, no eye, no ear, no nose, no tongue, no body, no mind, no appearance, no sound, no smell, no taste, no sensation, no phenomena. There is no quality of sight and so on, no quality of mind, no quality of mental consciousness. There is no ignorance and no exhaustion of ignorance, and so on, up to no old age and death, and no exhaustion of old age and death. In the same way, there is no suffering, no origin, no ending, and no path, no wisdom, no attainment, and no non-attainment. Therefore, Shariputra, since there is no attainment, no Bodhisattvas rely on and abide by means of the profound perfection of wisdom. And since their minds have no aspirations, they have no fear. Transcending falsity, they attain nirvana. All Buddhas as well in 3 times have relied upon the perfection of wisdom and have become true and complete Buddhas, unsurpassed, perfect, and complete enlightenment. Therefore, the mantra of the profound perfection of wisdom, the mantra of insight, the unsurpassed mantra, the unequaled mantra, the mantra which calms all suffering should be known as truth, for it is not deceptive. The mantra of the perfection of wisdom is proclaimed. Yata Om Gate Gate Paragate Parasamgate Bodhisoha. Shariputra, this is how a Bodhisattva Mahasattva should train in the profound perfection of wisdom. Then the Blessed One arose from that samadhi and said to the Bodhisattva Mahasattva, O Avalokiteshvara, the did spoke well. Well done, O son of the lineage, it is so. O son of the lineage, since it is just so, the profound perfection of wisdom should be practiced just as we taught, and the Tathagatas will also do this. When the Blessed One had said this, the Venerable Shariputra and O Avalokiteshvara Bodhisattva Mahasattva and the entire gathering, as well as worldly beings, gods, humans, asuras, and Gandharvas, rejoiced and praised the words of the Blessed One.
Receiving teachings and giving the teachings, whether one's receiving of the teachings and giving the teachings become a teachings of the Dharma, depends on So, receiving teachings and giving the teachings of the Dharma Whether one's receiving of the teachings and giving the teachings will become Dharma or not depends upon one's own motivations. It is therefore cultivating appropriate motivations is important to receive the teachings of the Dharma.
추sun 로세디 양 추데 지 대파치고 이제서 만 개체만 시와체 추데 주송보지를 로와라 주세데 융업이 내신 내바라.
So now, to become one's practice of the Dharma, or one's receiving of the teachings of the Dharma, here does not mean to have mere faith, but rather one's practice to become a Dharma needs to make it as a positive cause for giving rise to a positive result.
인자는 당가서 되게 주송보 땡세디 마음반에 야나 라니기 배제도에 야나 아니 선제다지 배제도에 된다라 주송보 사게세 되러.
So, to creating a positive cause by receiving the teachings and practicing the Dharma is to benefit all other sentient beings. Leading all sentient beings to the state of happiness. So therefore, right from the beginning of one's receiving of the teachings, one must cultivate the motivations that my purpose of receiving the teachings to setting all sentient beings to the state of happiness. This is how we create a positive cause for giving rise to a positive result.
당가 저기 된저기 주송보 주터 세거로 같은 저기 주터 댐비게니 줄루네 셰소나 덤바다랑 게 라마 아니 줄루 계셔 마셔나 다 개겐당 멤버로 된저기 덤바 아니 세미주베데니 랑게 내려 나팔라 예사 있잖아.
So if one is a Buddhist practitioners, so then think about the one's lineage gurus, beginning from Buddha Shakyamuni all the way to one's own root guru, who encourages you to cultivate a positive cause for giving rise to a positive result. And if one is not a Buddhist practitioner, then one can still practice this, but one can think about the encouragement that you are receiving is not from just a guru-teacher relationship, but rather receiving this from your teacher or someone who is a skilled physician from whom you are receiving those instructions.
다 애니 된저기 취해서야 돼요. 미데 맞아 라니 지고 많이 봤던 것들이 애니 다 군들어서 그러 당가서 라지 선체 건강요요서 해야 되지. 아니 된저기 미바서는 차지고 담아도나 내랑게 전체 파만이디. 아니 선체 타지기 설치네. 냥도라인 최친이 제기 인해서야 돼. 당가서 이자이 정신으로 되지.
So therefore, to cultivate appropriate motivations, one visualizes the Buddha Shakyamuni in front of oneself, and being oneself in front of Buddha, surrounded by all sentient beings. If possible, it is the best to visualize all sentient beings that are in your surrounding, entire sentient being. If that is not possible, one should at least visualize one's own parents and relatives or one's own surrounding. With these visualizations to shape our motivations, let's take 2 to 3 minutes of meditations. With these motivations, the teaching that you are receiving is the great stages of the path to enlightenment. So the source of the teachings of these great stages of the path to enlightenment is from Buddha Shakyamuni, transmitted to great Indian masters of Nalanda, then transmitted to the great Tibetan masters such as Lam Rim Chenmo and so forth. And the teaching that we are receiving, we are receiving this teaching is the great stages of the path to enlightenment. Is teaching that is given by Lam Rim Chenmo. The actual subject matter of these teachings of great stages of the path to enlightenment is subsumed in three categories: the small capacity, middling capacity, and the practice of the great capacities. So if one is a practitioner, then when one is receiving the teachings, making sure that your motivation is actually conditioned by the generation of bodhicitta. We're under the headings of the middling capacities. We're on the middling capacity under the headings of the ascertaining the nature of the path leading to liberations. And it's the last chapter of this middling capacity. So now, in this particular chapter, we talked about, we'll mainly focus on liberation from samsara. And when speaking about the liberation of samsara, the basis of liberation of samsara is we as a human beings are the perfect basis for achieving a state of liberations. So then, to achieve liberation from samsara, what kind of skillful means and a path that leads oneself to the state of liberation is the practice of three high trainings. So in order to practice, the one practice of the three high trainings, the purpose of that practicing three high trainings is to cultivating an opponent of one's afflictions, mental afflictions. So in order to eliminate mental afflictions, the various types of mental afflictions, one engages in the practice of the three high trainings.
개저 도 되고 싶어서나 단단 가서 가르세 되어서나 아니 로아 미일이 되는 여서라 그러.
So, as we all know that we have taken a rebirth at this point. Fortunately, we have taken a rebirth in the realm of human, in the human realms as a human being.
사차 가여서는 고알에 여서라 그러.
But then still, we were wandering in the cyclic existence, in the samsara.
오늘 대니보다 메시지 간르체는 요거서나 아니 먹이 주봉이 수련송 발레 되네 주비 충이기 라냐서는 발레 되네 로아 미일이 되 요거래 개치치시.
So what is the result of taking rebirth? What is the result of taking rebirth in human realms as a human being? Is a result of observing 10 virtue sections and abandoning 10 non-virtue sections.
당가서 대상지 주는 지금도 강에 되는 여러 진진체면도 딱 가르쳐고도서는 가서 대사기 코아될 타와지 제고도 세대로.
So now, as we know, even though that we have achieved this fortunate rebirth as a human being, but this is not again our ultimate aim, just to achieve this human rebirth, birth within this human realms, because even one has received a human rebirth, one has to undergo all sorts of sufferings, unhappiness, and so forth. So now, what we need to do, what one need to aspire to attain, is attain liberations from samsara.
오늘 대간 랑 가를 때는 타거를 살아야지 단지대로 바바 수련절 하베 지체 바바 땡인들 하베 조체 바바 땡 가서 돈이도 비셔야 되게 거의 저 당지대 제바제나 고알라 타지대 대셔서는 주 된다 팀모인 라지리 뭐 고아도 조바 차는 거.
So now how can one then free oneself from samsara or cyclic existence is by practicing the high trainings of the ethical discipline, which serve as the foundation for developing path that leads to the liberations. So then, on the basis of practicing this ethical discipline, one needs to then engage in the practice of concentrations or the samadhi, which will be the cooperative condition for giving rise, leading oneself to the state of liberation. This will then be followed by the wisdom, the practice of the high trainings of the wisdom, which actually becomes a direct antidote towards our delusions and cut the roots of cyclic existence.
이래 제바당 냥냥 사바 아니 샷 가서 초 사바 다 손에 돈 로고도 제바 다 강자바 아니 초 가서다 샤셀로 소바기 디바장인데 손에 돈 로고도. So
this really requires, to achieve liberation, really requires a combination of all the practices, such as accumulation of merits, meditations, practice of prostrations, recitings, 7 limb practices, meditations, because the result, one will able to achieve this result by means of many different kinds of collecting many different kinds of causes and conditions. There is no such single cause or the single conditions which leads oneself to the state of liberations.
든지 콜로치소나 라반도고 파정은 양주 소수치 더도 그러죠. 주변 중요한 가르에서 파치장 연주치 되어져라. 그 고대고 아니 제나는 진생단 된바 진행중에 뭐네 요래다네.
So it is important for us to understand what is meant by the practice of small capacities, what is meant by practice of middling capacity, what is meant by practice of a great capacity. great practitioner with great capacities and so on. If you understand the meaning of it, well then you will generate extraordinary enthusiasm towards one's own practice of the three scopes. If you get tired, you can always go inside and rest.
Mare dewa jela sejin tatake dosho jela yi megayi nyebola bedes teya kuwaji nimi gamba tan chiba do chewa temba ne do sona doban joro sondo hotel tejilo sharo.
So we're on page 350. Page 350. So second paragraph, third paragraph, I think, yeah. So let's read through the text. Moreover, you guys have it, right? Yes. Moreover, the four cravings for gain, fame, praise, and pleasure, and the dislike for the four opposite are quick to occur and difficult to get rid of. Strive to remedy this and stop these 8 worldly concerns by meditating on the faults of secular existence in general and by cultivating the mindfulness of the death in particular. So here 8 worldly concerns are, if you really look at ourselves and examine ourselves, we are almost like nurtured by these 8 worldly concerns. We are brought up by these 8 worldly concerns, and we are accustomed with these eight worldly concerns. So now, what this teaching actually suggests us here, it's emphasized very strongly that we need to look at the faults of the 8 worldly concerns and then practice.
Naga Chidure, Naga Chidu Jeta Dejan Tosa, Leona Daki Shal,
Chalin,
Shal Mandeshis, Teta Yanda Yanda Sembane, Di Nibogane, Jamin, Jesum, Wataro was.
So let's read through the text again here. Eliminate pride, as it is the chief obstacles to the development of the path in this lifetime and cause further rebirth future rebirths. Thank you. Future rebirths as a servant and so forth. The way to do this is stated in the friendly letter. If you reflect again and again, just as I have not transcended illness, aging, death, and loss of the present, so my karma and its result are my own doing, and you will overcome arrogance because you will be applying its remedy.
ngaji nimo ngai no ngaji sen ngaji gar chegure ni lang chebala ge chegure joshima nami jinrebu te jutin jinrebu la kari yong worsana jeyo chagre ngaji nimo ngaji sen de nimi
this the Nagarjuna's, the friendly letters, states here, is now talks about the result of the pride, what will happen to us, and so what is the ripening result of pride. So the first it says, if you have very strong pride, you have so intense pride, this pride will become an obstacle for your development of your spiritual realizations, and then also it will cause a future rebirth as a servant or the slave. So then also we have a saying in Tibetan that if someone who has really a huge pride will not develop his or her positive quality. So this is actually really true. Someone who is so egoistic and having a really big pride, and such a person is actually have a constantly looking at someone who is lower than them, looking at them as in the very low, and someone who is equal to him or herself. To them, the person will have a sense of competitiveness, and there's someone who is better than him or herself have a jealousy. So you have a jealousy towards them, you have a jealousy, sense of competitiveness, and then looking down towards someone. So those three things will follow you constantly if you have a big pride.
Nangi yunde na zubo ina kanje tendrichi la yana chi shuji soso zubo yabo ina zubo le tena ngaji che yunde chemo ngaji che ja tendrichi ngaji che mo ko kare che na ma je na zubo de che ga na chi ranji chi ro ro de che na ni ngaji che ga min do se chi cha ro.
So let's take as sometimes we may generate a strong pride due to looking at one's own physical body. I have such a good-looking body and so forth. But if you really think carefully, it is not worthwhile to have such a pride with regard to one's own body. It is, subject to disintegrations. And later or sooner, it changes. Instead of having a pride, it will make you more depressed because it goes through a constant changing, right?
So moreover
that our body is not free from birth, aging and sickness. And also it is in the nature of constant change because the body actually is coming into being due to its own causes and condition. Whatever the phenomena that is caused, it is caused by some causes. It is actually coming into being due to some kinds of causes and conditions. It is subject to undergo change. It will not remain as it is, permanently. So it undergo constant change momentarily. Just as we find in the 8 verses of the mind training, that wherever you go, with whomever you go, look at yourself as the Lord and others. It's not just you express that, but try to internalize that line itself and try to reflect upon that and make your mind accustomed with this meaning of this line.
Teta yang de symbol de ne de nyimbu go ne jaba manjuro se do kanje ji phongbo la tenbi ne jaga na chi sana yang chi dang yin ne dang de ne len de de sana tong ya de ne ni jaba se de nga ji ge jaro jin ji nyimbu yang ne yang san do so na ne nga ji che ge ma de so do.
So if you are able to reflect upon those conditions, the situations of our physical body aggregates, which undergoes change, constant changing, and it is under the power of its own causes and conditions, under the domination of its own causes and conditions. So if you are able to reflect on that, then you will not have much pride, will not generate much pride with regard to one's own body.
Teaching also again, Karaji in Ebola, Karagangores and Nasumil Chuachikoya, the Numaja Janaro Bicola, and the Gangores in the Tajija, and it's also Tenricola, the Sunday the Katuki Tajas the Longo.
So those are the very, very key points in the Lam Rim Chenmo. So you can highlight that, and then sometime if you notice that you're having some kind of pride, then it suddenly just open this chapter and reflect your mind upon the meaning of that, the one that is particularly highlighted for overcoming one's pride.
The jungle teaching draw me Richiba by the Shisha said, the city Nipacho Shujiredo, also Mejilla Tonjuto and the Mejilla Chesed, the Shujimbara.
He always tells us that, His Holiness the Dalai Lama always tells us that. Look at all beings as equal. But it's a very simple word, isn't it? But it is something that's really telling. It's telling. I mean, it's really profound if you really think carefully. So therefore, not only just a word that you are looking at other beings as equally, but mentally, you should learn how to accept all sentient beings as equal.
The Dimba Concho Town, Lendelang, Panyana, Tensu Jetaje Minjung, so do. The Tangani Tensu, Majed Tensu, say the Numo Garde, Zay Numu, Tella, and Numuchu saying Down at the timing as a timing at the chairman to Tatem Roshan.
So then it says, once you have achieved certainty about the truth, the three jewels and karma and its effects, the afflictions of the doubt will not arise.
Tragedy in your mochi made or tenso in your mochi mares. Say the wrong, so control and landed on Dembato, Lojan Shuchaboche with the tiny to be tenso to say or the
So it is true that if one really engages in the practice of the Dharma and studies the Dharma, this will then really, overcome doubts and afflictions.
Chidan Yomono, you tenso tele, and control your dame, Demba your dame, and landed Demba in the Mese in tenso de Jagora. Chidan also tenso Kanijin, Jabajan, tenso de Segura.
So now here, the doubt here, this particular doubt here refers, of course there are many different kinds of doubt, but in this case, in the context of this particular chapter, the doubt here refers to the doubt of cause, doubt regarding law of cause and effect, doubt regarding three jewels, and so forth.
Because Jen need the Mobatan, Gobatan, Lelotan, Bamebatan, Wansa, Majin, Timeba, Tan, Jenge, Tan, Shijen, Mayimba, Sheshay, Nay, Numba None, Ne, Casa Gay Shola, Joy, Patu Jobin, Patu Joban, Juniana, Yimbe, Nimi Jiba Shela, Nebotene, Tribute, to Jechun to Tawala, Comba Shao, so.
Then here it says, the secondary afflictions, those called sleep, lethargy, excitement, laziness, carelessness, shamelessness, lack of embarrassment, forgetfulness, and lack of vigilance, are quick to occur and hinder your cultivation of the virtuous group of phenomena. You should understand their faults and get used to reducing their strength through an immediate application of their remedies. With respect to their faults, the friendly letter says. So normally, when we talk about afflictions, we talk about root afflictions and the secondary afflictions, right?
되게 되게 용도. 다들 용주 더가랑 시제 농종으로 대도 안 로상이다. 민반에 선도 가서 니민에서 신부 공부하고 니민에 시진래서 거든 저든 세무바당사 니던 되라 됨보 텐소때 지방아본데다 게이노 초비 총긴 라바 리반즈 제당소도
So here again, it's the same meaning the above paragraphs. Now, the next here, quoting from the friendly letters of the Binagrachanus, in the form of stanza, says excitement and regret, malaise, lethargy, and sleep, longing for the desirable, and doubt. Understand the 5 obscurations are robbers who steal the riches of virtues.
저당아서 개와노나 파비 파노 된생이죠. 대대체 로그만에 대단 저쪽 토도 원사시다 전혀 싫어서야 돼. 저당 파비 노된생이죠. 간제 파비기 게이치제 파노기 총액이 끝마다서 쓰러서나 단다 림보데 주방아보데 송도아.
So those are the afflictions that we talked about earlier, those afflictions, such as sleep, lethargy, excitement, laziness, carelessness, and so forth, are the rovers, who actually steals the richness of the Pangnor Dun, which is the 7 jewels of or the 7 properties of the Aryas.
또 로상이다. 라비 선바고 레장사 강시니도 뭐바 간저와사 베게 론다 대신 취바나 대다 대이 류라 시천종 대이 칸다 로드 추반저 강시 모다 니라 가원저와 카제니바도 메다지 리지저와 존도 데마니 대이 치자 세워 먼저로 셰당 강시 모바니라 가원저와 대는 무신 출라 되마냥 시바연데 균레 용스냥 가보냥시 미반도 완저로 시 니미 만도 손바탕스 전반년자 레장스 대바도 진로샤나서 데 고대고 슈송도 데데.
So let's read through the text here again. So also the exhortation to the wholehearted resolve to discuss the faults at length. Flame, wind, and bile occurs to great extent in the bodies of those who take pleasure in sleep and lethargy. Their constituents are in disorder. For those who take pleasure in the lethargy and sleep, their stomach are unclean because of poor food. Their bodies are heavy, and their complexions unhealthy. Even their words are unclear. And those who take pleasure in lethargy and sleep are confused in their aspirations towards religion, faith, and these children lose all of their good qualities. Their virtues degenerate, and they fell into darkness.
니도 무바생에 되게 저당 시작 시월을 내보면서 나기 주비기 카운터라 내그랬어도.
So those negativities are not harmful to only our mind, but also is harmful to our body as well.
저당 아주 배배기 대시거라. 내차셔도 디무선도 롱트 백개송이 롱트 백개송은 내 당시기 주인스 대양 내차셔도 디무송이建议 롱트 백개송대양 그 대당 냥바지 이렇게 잡으라.
So in the Tibetan, the medical source, it actually explains about how those, flame, wind, and the bile produces attachment, anger, hatred, and ignorance.
노 생이다. 그 고대원도 로고연도 고대원도 다 쳐서 집어는 아 집어리 자세디 대자살 고아대 배세되는 하로 배송준열에 고아 배되는 라.
So it is really comprehensive if you really look at this stanzas and think about, take your time, read and contemplate. And it is not complicated at all. So this is how we practice, Dharma, how we practice our, Lam Rim. Because you should not live and keep aside all the meanings in the text itself. Rather, you should internalize yourself.
제바체데 강저 니가 체그래 싫어 공변된 로그리 냥용사로 그래 띵엔즈데 싫어 니가 패요 그래.
Read stanza by stanza and then meditate and analyze, and will really increase your wisdom and also accumulate merits.
대의 님이 디셰데 메제바텔라 추준송요 거를 라바스한테 뒤질래요 그래.
So if you're able to follow and then do the practice and meditations, then you're actually practicing the 3 high trainings at one time: morality, concentrations, and wisdom.
진짜 달로윈다. 전반여자래. 뉴모는지 지지네 레로인데 강라 여사. 강라 레로 지여바 대라 추기면 바 인셰당스 총래스. 밤에 발라 조시바 조시바 상라 인. 순변 노는 송와다 개배 바탕 덴바 샤셰당 제로레스. 근데 지디면 지지 가가 인사라. 제로레스.
So then those who take pleasure in lethargy and sleep are confused in their aspiration towards religion, faith. They shall all lose their good qualities, their virtues degenerate and then fall into a darkness. And the mindfulness of the excellent teaching says, the one foundation of all the afflictions is laziness. Those who have it, those who have a single moment of laziness will have no practice at all. And the collection of the indicative verses says, those involved in the carelessness are childish people who ruin their minds. As master traders guard their wealth, so should the wise take care.
그래서 뭐저도 풍시에 레로 풍시하고라. 준비면은 싫어 로단다시더라고라. 뒤중어서 시에대로와. 싫어 로단다시. 배제진 외만에서.
So therefore it is really true, this one of the obstacles for our practice is laziness. There are many subtleties of laziness, which because we are not generating the genuine enthusiasm for practicing, it is because of our laziness. So without enthusiasm, even though you may have a wisdom, that wisdom has no function. It's like a dead body.
오늘 내가 쉬우러 앞에나 샤왕이 진짜 레로 생에다나 줄루비 레로스데 오늘 돈에랑 속에 뭐쳐데 다 나인도 저리 이내로 다 간지 뇌비쇼라 이내 레로 가서 전류 메제제데 샤왕이 진짜 레로로. So
laziness doesn't really necessarily mean that you are being in one place and unable to just being lazy and not doing anything. That doesn't mean laziness doesn't really apply to that kind of situation alone. Laziness can be a lot of different things. You are setting aside of your practice of one's dharma and doing something that is not really necessary, and you are interested in doing something and taking more interest in doing something else than one's own spiritual practice. It's also the form of laziness. And also you are just giving up yourself and discouraging yourself that, this is the practice, it's too hard and I'm not going to do it, I can't do it. So this is also a form of laziness.
根本就是下些个名字，这是意思。
Let's now. That's all. So let's take a break with 10 minutes.
日落年日年的眼光的，三界行度面的别我也，如今能到心老修不修也当古如了，那个那样那样面前，哎呀，把个单机弄上那么多人的，对啊，当个单机接肉的来吧，接肉来是来的多啊。 对，对啊，我这么年家的录音吧，我那写到接着来去，老师让我这半年呢，一了去当个我写吧也，居民那都工业圈呢，这一切都把同样拉写当写成来啥，对吧
？So. Let's read through the text again here. The Guardian of Bird story says, O Prince of Deities, rather than cast aside your shame and act at odds with the teachings in your mind, you would do better to take up an earthen vessel, put on your poor clothing, and be seen arriving at the home of an enemy.
되긴 되는 진짜 제로세도 뭔지 로지로라 덤비 나 덤버 전된데 transik이 상추선버지기 좋아시베 가라 아니 코로게 기겐던데 아니 게투존라니 처럼서 그마전에 아니 묘 가세라는 걸 커쇼 송도아 기겐데 다 게투서 따치잖아 이거라니 전된데 될렌저 샤주레도.
So the Guardian of the Bird stories is the collection of the stories of the Buddha Shakyamuni, and Buddha's previous lifetime and so forth. And so here in this particular passage, it is an answered by Buddha Shakyamuni at one time to his teacher, the Brahmin teacher. So once the Brahmin teacher asked his disciples, to check the disciples' mind, if you can go outside and steal whatever you can steal from others and bring it to me. So then this is the answer the Buddha has given to Brahmin teacher.
디 계셔들 하용 뭐 자식이 노트지라고 해나야 와서번에 그만 저거 메시지들 동부디.
So here what it says here is now, even if you are able to, gain the richness of like a deity or the Brahma, the deity, wealth, I will not abandon shame and engage in action of taking the wealth of others.
든드기 와서번에 추던가 이 그만 저발래 아니 자마큰 홍보전에 그거에
Instead of cast aside my shame, I would rather to take up an earthen vessel, put on a poor clothing, and beg from others would be much better than stealing. That's what he said.
다 다이친다 아니 그만 저거나 저거 미라고 소소도 단데 제로 같은 데지 아니 온조로긴다 시진래지 원슈레 또 전바 대시 지서 저바 집에 랑도냐 왔대 데네 뭐바송 지대 전바 냥바 죽인 집은 저를 세당宣주래서 töden 대바 젠당네 전반에 도마양 시진 매비 전 차배 동이 뇨다 제반 저러写送바 따로 송도.
So then the friendly letter says, Lord, mindfulness of that within the sphere of the body, speech and mind is thought to be the one path by which the by which the Sugata is troubled, and apply yourself to this and maintain it well, all virtues will disintegrate with this deterioration of the mindfulness.
되게 된다데 제단 되는 레샤 이제 너그이나 뭐 제시 고데 trouble 지도 제단에는 내려도 다 간지 젬바냥데 대화시 비기 저버지비기 랑텔레 개발에 말에 개나 저버지비 랑테 녀와 템바든 제소나 아니 대송발레 베거마도 텔레 뒤나연 베치고 말해서는 젬바 땡급이 계절에도 얘다.
So this friendly letter actually here it encourages us to how to maintain our mindfulness. It's very important to be mindful of what you are doing.
신주기 계좌 다가랑 되셔. 젬바 덴바지 마이나 아니 시행이 소마도나 아니 가르에나 투쇼로셔지어로.
So if one is unable to, take care of our mindfulness, unable to maintain our mindfulness, then our introspection cannot detect what is right and what is wrong. This will then, everything what you do will go wrong.
좀 먼저 들어 배배변의 최대여서기 파지부진의 최대여서리든 최대여래당 로종당 좀바당 개매와 인산 가디놓고 미반은 된대지죠. 당반은 된대. 뒤 동안이나 가래는 용반은 된대지만 용반도 돈비 뒤지요 말해서 지려도.
So then here just like there are many who actually have a great faith in Dharma, Buddha Dharma, but then lack of knowledge. And the many communities, especially the Buddhist communities, they have a natural faith in Buddha Dharma and the teachings and so forth. However, they do not have much knowledge in that. And with faith alone will not really help you to really free yourself from the muddy world. So in order to free yourself from the muddy world, you should know, you should have the skillful means of freeing yourself from the muddy world. For that, it requires not only a faith alone is sufficient, but it requires studies and knowledge.
시신세대 지단 실력이 차도 예 따지지는 소바소리지로. 지단 가서 시신세대.
So it's like a spy, you've been speaking about this mental introspection. It's a spy who actually always, try to detect what is bad and what is wrong. So this can only be cultivated if one studies and understand and studies and have a knowledge of how to employ to detect those introspection, which can detect bad and wrong, good and bad.
시시면은 야조 강가 수지의 당사나 당차된原因요 말로. 그래서도 동의 용바의 제번 저거를 세우디 시시게 따지전에 여와지 마셔와이나 아니 용바들 되나요 다요 말했지.
So then the muddy water will may never ever be cleansed or clean without having this mental introspections, because that muddy water. If you see a muddy water, the muddy water can be cleansed by doing something, right? You have to know how to clean up all those muds and make the water clean. Similarly, a mind without introspection, a mind is like a muddy water. It is not clean at all. So with the application of this mental introspection will really clean up the muddy water.
대체 다 제가 참로도마도 제단에 나서기 시바코로이 로던텔레 칭콩 세대 지어를 쓰고도 칭콩 다제 쟁에 가서 다 쟁에.
So if you according to the teachings, it will say that our mental world, in our mental world, there is a certain existence that is like a judgment. There's a one type of mental factor which could actually detect what is right and what is wrong. That's the one part of the mental factor, which will then draw the conclusion whether this mind needs to be remain with you or it needs to be gotten rid of. But for us, most of the time, let all this introspection, and we're not employing them, we're not applying it, we're not engaging in the application of all this mental factor that we have, not making good use of it, giving them a break and let them sleep forever. So
yeah, because like about shipakono city rana nywa tena ganjangi to sige ani lo zange yiri ta kanjing na kasu mongwa shiba na yi samba no yawa sheto la go.
So as we talked about earlier, during last time's teaching, there's someone who is really engaging in the practice of meditation on satic, which means the mere luminosity of mind, meditation of mere luminosity of mind. And those practitioners, the advanced practitioners, are able to detect and recognize all the process of all the mental process that arises in their mind, what is good and what is bad. Just like we recognize the people that we know, they are able to detect and recognize it and get rid of something that is not needed.
Nyumo na sa gapa mani chang nyumo je ka mejo shim ka sa ka mejo shim menzimba datawa shi data medo mirongwa nyibi shu zong la nyumo sunjimba la be ne rangi ke lam mema rangi gang ke lam bi chutrin yong sa ta ba sha wo so de den di lo ja.
Then it says thus, even if you cannot arrest the affliction or the secondary affliction, it is indispensable to see them as enemies right now, without strengthening them on taking their side, hence side with the remedies and strive to overcome their afflictions. After you have accomplished this, completely purify whatever ethical discipline you have assumed. As the glorious Kombawa, disciples of the great elder, said to the Nursuba.
아니 쇼 문제 세디 녀모쇼를 저쪽 맞아야스. 배낭아 소연의 추르지마 칸디손의 데슬루디야 카주야 카야 소쇼세저로 녀모이 저쪽 맞아. 쇼지 맞아 세디 마소쇼 코소쇼 텐셰지야 녀모쇼를 쇼지 맞아야스. 아니 님이 다 소야더라.
One should always try not to support our delusions or the afflictions, but rather at the moment that you notice the arisal of the affliction within one's continuum, and look at the faults of that continuum, instead of supporting that afflictions. So this is how we practice and reduce the strength of the afflictions.
또 가른 농도여서는 녀모를 저저잖아. 녀모도 소소근요 소저쟁이 봐. 시작 저거라도 때는 이미 뒤나했다고 말어.
The problem with us is we, instead of looking or finding a fault from those negative thoughts and emotions or the afflictions, we support them. We support them, and we also think that they are our supporter. Without those afflictions, we feel that we are colorless. It's kind of like there's no functions of us. So we always look at them as something that we really needed, in which case we are actually supporting them and sustaining them.
So 대차세디 소소 초대인 받지는 거지 저거야. 그러면은 처음부터 소리지. 컨트롤지 말이지 카테를 전해서는 컨트롤 맞잖아. 소소 처음부터 소리 건지 전주 전대되어라.
So we are all in fact those afflictions, the way we look at those afflictions, that afflictions are our nurture. They nurture us, and because without attachment, that we feel that without attachment and desire, our very living will become, colorless. And similarly, without generating anger, we will not be able to defeat our enemies and so forth. So this is the mentality that we have, in which we are actually supporting our mental afflictions instead of finding a fault from them.
되게 내가 소 가투는 세선 데려와. 먼저 주보데 생 오지자 차도라. 데레. 내가 오늘 전에 생데 주보 오지자 차거래. 되면저체. 먼저 주보데 생 오지자 차. 코메나다 베드메리세에 진근지제네. 데려와.
So here now, if you look at carefully, the problem with us, we let ourselves to be controlled by our thoughts and emotions, and our thoughts and emotions are driven by negative impulses and negative, in other words, afflictions. So this is the problem with us. Then whatever the actions that we may engage become a negative without knowing.
되지. 다 조준비 하면서 바데 공부에 신의 장스. 뉴스바라서 이심바 사나 아마네 사나잖아. 취지 계시바 되게 명하게 티 강라 시세나 시세네 주나서 뭐바셔바 예당제라 시 통화라 시셔바 원원서 레전드라 쟁에 손에 제다 켈런비 담바다바 손와 시라 말에 시세와 이노서 되나 감비 우주장 마리발라 소비 녀모 제촌도 손하나 샤송바다 고소 손도 되시.
So then it says, so a shepherd, if tomorrow or the next day someone were to ask all your disciples, what are you practicing as the core of your personal instructions, they would answer that it was to attain supreme knowledges or the vision of their chosen deities. However, they should answer, it is becoming more and more definite about the cause and effects of the karma, and consequently keeping purely whatever vows I have assumed.
드르지 거르마도 녀모 메보제비 따라 근데 라이시에 통바다인가 뭐시제와 장지 라그리 된다 말에서더라 녀모 총을 거래스 렌델에 이치체로
So as a practice, as a result of one's practice, not importance of focusing on having a vivid vision of the deities or gaining some kind of extraordinary mental abilities such as clairvoyance and so forth. Those are not the important result of our practice. Our important result of our practice should be reducing the intensity of our afflictions. And gradually, our aim is to not only just reducing the strength or the intensity of our negative thoughts and emotions, but also our aim is to getting rid of those afflictions and uprooting those afflictions. Mm-hmm. So this should be the result of our practice.
다트세 소소 란라 칼로서는 지도나 최렌데라 이치 슈체른도와 데 가와야다 여당라 이시즈는 가야나 맞아 여당라 이시즈 가셀라서로.
So now here, if you were to ask that, will you be more pleased or happy to have a vivid vision of the deity, or will you be more happy of increasing your faith and appreciation to law of cause and effect? That answer might be obvious, because we'll be more pleased and happy to have a vision of deity, isn't it?
내가 갔다 오거서는 로 가던비 라마속에 냥히 나요데 조화 간이 되거든 가를 내가 저 어쩐도서 돼 소소이 떼지 조르지 생각.
So we really have to follow the Kadamba practitioners. What was their practice? What was their focus? What was their aim of their practice? What kind of result it's the actual result of our practice. So this is identifying those is very, very important.
나 cende니까 같이 로인다야. cende니까 디바당 동행 바시 제비 옌당 추발라양사. 옌의 추발라 대리게 동행 통제 쏟아내는 저바 세진사 뜻에서 뭐도 세진세. 대가 또 못 되지라 하지다. 오이도 빼래셔.
Therefore, you should understand this to indicate that the phrase attainment, which results from the meditation, refers to the achievement of reduction in afflictions such as ignorance.
단 녀모생이 되게 센데시다 라신이가 추버 라신이가 지보명에서 오래스. 그 조보만제 동해 지메칭이 제거래. 인자는 된대질라다 조바제다 리바라와스.
So, afflictions causes, unhappiness of oneself and all other beings, and also continue to put us in a situation of suffering. So, therefore, our practice of, our sole purpose of engaging their practice is to overcome suffering of oneself and others. So, therefore, one should focus on the result by means of one's practice is to overcome our afflictions, mental afflictions. That should be our focus. So, as we find in 8 verses of the training of the mind training, as soon as you notice that the arisal of those negative afflictions, which causes destruction to others and self, you should immediately get rid of that, right?
Maybe malasoba, maybe malasoba yansa, de itsenjua yin senen ngomba sienasa, nyomoshon bala zumbi tus, gashi zobane shindeyan ride, shenjule, deme dai masu tobayan, lila jendandawa karsa se shena, tenchen dubi yanda zunjuba, tenchen duba, duba dala donge chish, neshi jin. So,
then it's when people fight with others, something that yells only sins and suffering both in this and in other lives. They endure all manners of suffering for however long it takes, even at the cost of their lives. Then they show off the scars of their wounds and etc. and boast. And I received this one at that time. This being the case, it is even more appropriate for us to endure the hardship undergone while preparing joyously into destroying the afflictions. So engaging in the bodhisattva deeds, says, since even a scar inflicted by an enemy for no reason is worn as if it were a decoration for the body, why should suffering bother me when I truly strive to accomplish a great purpose? So this is actually happened in Tibet a long time ago, when someone harms, inflicts harm upon certain family, and then the sons of that particular family should be the responsible for retaliating the other party, someone who inflicts harm upon us. If you are unable to retaliate, then they don't think that you are really a human being, which is really an unwise way of thinking. That kind of mentality has existed particularly in the Kham region. That's what Rinpoche says in Tibet. And so this is really not a wise decision of solving problems. So
tenda jini menge jila donghe dan chunchu ji dane che thugu yo na ni jewa ne chera tan ji mebo zongi tendri ji la khati khari chen cha thugu mare senda wu ji.
So now we have to think in this way, if we see as something that really creates some kind of unhappiness, and we always recognize that, we try to recognize that cause and get rid of that, right? So then why can't we really do something that really causes us suffering from lifetime to lifetime? We really need to take some kind of measure to get rid of that causes and conditions which give rise to the suffering from one life to another life.
Xie song so che. Teta nyomo bi dra tho ne se jawa la pawo xie xia wa yi. Dra jen la tho ba ne ma se jang ngang ge chwa la go wa ro la se ba dan dra de xuan ju le jang sa bo. Xuan ju le de dong he tang ji che se ne xie dang la so zhang jong ba. Teta ji ji pawo de lama ro la se ba wo xie song so so do.
So then here it says, that's the one who struggle against the enemy of the afflictions and defeat them should be called the true hero. Whereas the one who fights against ordinary enemies kills only a corpse, since these enemies will die naturally anyway, even if they were not slain, engaging in the bodhisattva's deeds. They are conquering heroes who scorn all sufferings and defeat enemies like hostility. The rest are killers of the corpse.
This is what ro pawo senge de nyomo la khate jang je la pawo se gre ma do sin de tindri ki dra ji le khate ja de ro la tzu ne se shi be on da do na ro la tzu ne se sha so de ji re ma de le ke pa da ye ma de so da pawo yi pa da.
So what it really says here is, now someone who is able to gain a victory over the afflictions is a true hero. Not someone who actually, defeats out of anger, defeating ordinary enemies as a hero. It's just like, even if you take the life of other beings, there's nothing much, you would achieve out of that. It's almost like you're, according to the Guide to the Bodhisattva's Way of Life, it says, according to, as if that you are just, stabbing a corpse, dead body. So how the person who actually, get rid of, stab the dead body can be a hero.
Xie song so de yi xie de ni le yang xuan ju le ji. Nyomo shu ju chuo ne na number tong de sen zu de sa. Wala so ba singe jin nyomo cu ji mi zu xia xie song ba da. Lang ju men tin shu gun ji cu ba ma de cu la mi zu xin de da le jie ba xia wo.
Then here, next stanza it says, consequently, as the same text says, when I deal amidst the horde of afflictions, I must withstand them in 1,000 ways. Just as foxes and their like cannot harm the lions, so the host of affliction will not hurt me. Thus, do not allow the factors incompatible with the path to inflict harm upon you and conquer them all. So what it really says here is, now, as a result of one's practice, one should not let oneself remaining under the power of afflictions, under the domination of afflictions. This should be the result of our practice. So Tibetan would say that there's
근데
no.
단도 치대 현주제로 지바렌도 원래서
I would say that there's no other animals who could really bring harm upon a lion. Lion being the king of jungle, so none of the animal can harm them.
대나게 찍어서 그러고 뉴모기 준네 뇌시 매병이지. 뉴모는 이미 당에 로또 침몰해서는 뉴모기 뇌시 되고 말어.
So by means of reflection upon the faults of afflictions, you then understands how the destructive how destructive those afflictions are. Then when you have this, then you will never long to achieve that kind of mentality within oneself. This will then be able to cultivate a strong remedy towards mental afflictions. So therefore, regardless of what kind of affliction, this secondary affliction that may arises, will never bring a harm upon your mind. So you will never become under the slave remain under the slave of afflictions.
오늘 전화가 속에 강저바다 일에 제바데 만주르마도 녀목이 리칸가 잘라르마서 주마로 그 주말을 푸여 말어.
So just like we are not, if we really take our time and really to look at ourselves and try to think about, try to, analyze the nature of those afflictions. If you really look at those, and you will, when you come to realize the nature of these afflictions, then afflictions are something that doesn't really, primordially existent. Those are all advantages, something that can be removed, something that can be gotten rid of. So then it says, this concludes the explanation of the stages of the path shared with the persons of the medium capacity. So now, what we have studied by means of, by receiving the teachings on this, explanation of the stages of the path shared with the persons of the medium capacity, is we have studied what is the conduct of engaging in the practice of the medium capacity, what is the view that we need to uphold, having been studied the personal medium capacities. So our conduct must be a conduct of renunciation, is what it's called. Renunciate, the conduct of renunciate, in other words. Conduct of renunciation, sorry. And then the view must be the view of selflessness. One must adopt the view of selflessness. Those are the two major, key point of engaging in the practice of medium capacity. So then the reason why, what is the purpose of generating renunciation? What is the purpose of adopting renunciations here? The purpose of adopting renunciation here is to understand the faults, to seize the faults of secular existence.
담에 또 비셔를 가르쳐 내려서라서나 거의 싸워집이 당신 매버서 걸어와. 세디 또 되고 쉬우지.
What is the purpose of cultivating wisdom, realism, selflessness? Is to cut the root cause of secular existence.
주부충이길 투모이 랑모데 지템비 한답이 따와 렌델의 이치비 따와 데려와서서나 콜 메시지 따이 차도 그거 말이로 지템비 한답이 따와데.
So with regard to the first practice, the scope of practice, which is the small scopes, the practitioner of small scopes, it doesn't involve. There's no involvement of views, of holding the views. It is what Jigdenbe Yandabe Tao, which is the perfect view of. It says the perfect. One need to cultivate the perfect view of perfect mundane views. It says. The perfect mundane view here refers to the a genuine appreciation to the law of cause and effect.
Tela ini soso kandu missing it. Soso ne kalandu kwasi do se to sola chue ke chame shiwa de tendu kwa na ini shiji le jana tes pensi gra.
So for that, we mainly practicing what kind of birth that we have taken at this time. What is the cause of our birth? Where am I at this point? How can I be able to have a better rebirth in my future and so forth. So this is the practice shared with the small capacity.
당가서 된르게 연주 상다 가서 연주게 선바다 아니 담에도 베시러니 냐상한 발라 때네 아니 타입이 선전은 거의 동행지 장소를 되네 나나미비 타바추고 고번요도 타와 연보쇼 대양 나로랑기 제토 보쇼 제토바 대양은 아마 선전은 신절로도 소서네 홍하다 망아니가 냥도 차그래.
By means of receiving the teachings on this renunciations and the wisdom realizing selflessness, may I able to release all sentient beings from the cyclic existence and letting all sentient beings to the state of unsurpassable liberations. And I will take myself as responsible for letting all sentient beings to the state of unsurpassable liberations. And may all the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas in front of myself place me to be able to do this.
Sanje shendo mende bewa ye rogen nanda shenla shubha yo gendo yanda nama dan jeme chuje bela lonje che sadan lonje yende rozo ne doje change gobo nyando yo Guru Rana Mindra Naya Daya Mi Bele Zoni Ne Kada Yamba Kashi Sabadi Lami Mari Gidon Jawana Nandri Jaya Ombo Dajuji Tema Simbi Sera Gundoya Jambe Yangju Tsewe Jizonde Tenbi Rinpa Kyunsan Langju Cho Nyene Zhubi Jena Nyeshe Cho Rangi Jijin Dobi Langju Ne Shuda Tsewe Zhangye Tage Je Roye Yeje Minpa Se Ne Jaya Damba Yurin Zinju Chi Damba Rinchen Choge Majaba Nyamba Jubi Shode Ne Nije Chenpo Yira Jaba Ye Pende Dede Sewa Shiba Sho Sejin Jaye Mijong Chenle Le Le du shang chu lang ju rin be jiang, tang de nang ju ye la be de xin, ya yue zi ba rin du jiang ju qi, lang zang zhu bi ti jin zhu xi qin, ge jin si ji me dang mi mi gun, ce ra gun du ya yue nga ba ye. Nanda Nanda Jawa Manjuji Kanzi Teba Chola Chushi Chi Sijin Chola Zumba Devi Tse Tudin Nanji Dado Chushi Chi Chashi Jansi Shogun Chojuji 罗塞肉等间，那个真理修觉结波当，罗藏天别真面萨松去，若也面塞大多念就去。若也过也心安住，平当的我马连就业呢，现日在我的人叫做也，小别身体保度天就去。八月七大千波当，更多上波天阳天人的。天道根觉结色道路学，天王的道当机绕度我，地上西边家当机去，我刚了出度我把的，道心给愿造我的根家，上不学习绕度我。